Don in London, hello. April 16th, 2009, my video is all about recovery from either addiction to substance or behaviour. And I'm a bit late, it's gone 11 o'clock, and I've had one or two calls supporting actually somebody who's been in the fellowship and is no longer in the fellowship and is doing research and some more convincing about what sort of life to have. So what does it remind me of? My addiction, substance, alcohol, my behaviour. I guess always trying to be perfect and never so, and always feeling less than others maybe. I had a brittle ego and not very much self-esteem. So a lot of my life was driven by fear, 1,000 forms of fear, all in my imagination normally, but often some proved to be well-founded. Not everybody in life will like us, and some people will completely detest us because of what we stand for or how we are. So these days I learn how to be me on a daily basis, be open, honest and willing to let life happen as it may, and not try and control everything. What I've learned most in fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous is that I'm powerless over people, places and things, which is the first step in the program. And when I don't try and control anything and let things happen, let life happen, life is more interesting and it's more varied and it's more open. The more I control it, the more I fasten myself down to the prison, my intellectual prison and outlook. These days I have more of an emotional outlook which helps me connect and be included rather than excluding people who I could not trust because I could not trust myself. So what's going on for me? I feel okay this morning. Rain till Sunday. And what can I do about that? Nothing. Well, I can go to meetings and be a part of. I think the weather does impact on me and my emotional well-being as much as anything. But these days I just don't drink a day at a time, which is a good starting point. And the fellowship which helps me, Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a preamble shared here in London at the beginning of every meeting I've been to. And it goes like this. And there are 700 meetings in London or thereabouts every week. So 700 times this is said in different places, and once a day I'm here with me. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And what we do to try and encourage newcomers is make suggestions. There are 12 suggestions of an action program, or 12 steps of action, to change our attitude and behaviour. And those 12 steps can be lived in a day. It might take a bit of homework to get there, but once we've got the homework done, then we can live in each day and make the best of what we have. So experience is our history, strength is where we are today, and hope is to make the best of this day sober, just one day at a time. A one-day program for recovery. So if we try and make our recovery longer and imagine what it would be like in 20 years' time, we may not get there because we are overstepping where we have some choices. So we can't wish it so, but we can certainly work towards making some progress, and never perfect, on a daily basis. And what else do I share here? The Daily Reflections book, one page per day, to give some perspective on my outlook in the morning. And I often use As Bill Sees It as well, so that it illustrates what is going on and how I make use of it. So for today, in the Daily Reflections, April Step 4, all about the Fearless Moral Inventory, which is doing a self-appraisal of our assets and our liabilities. It says here, anger, a dubious luxury. And I was just talking to somebody and they're very angry about life generally and the credit crunch and what it's doing to them. So, we need to be realistic in all of this. It's not about a fantasy of recovery, it's about real recovery and seeing reality as it is. And here we go, April 16th, anger, a dubious luxury. If we were to live, we had to be free of anger. The grouch and the brainstorm were not for us. They may be the dubious luxury of normal men, But for alcoholics, these things are poison. And that comes from AA's Big Book, page 66. Probably the 4th edition, maybe, I don't know, I'll have to check. But it goes on to say, dubious luxury, how often have I remembered those words? It's not just anger that's best left to non-alcoholics. I built a list including justifiable resentment, self-pity, judgmentalism, self-righteousness, false pride and false humility. I'm always surprised to read the actual quote. So well have the principles of the program been drummed into me that I keep thinking all of those defects are listed too. Thank God, or in good conscience, I can't afford them, or I surely would indulge in them. And when it says the list, justifiable resentment, self-pity, judgmentalism, self-righteousness, false pride and false humility, is often about blaming other people. And some things we have in our lives are beyond our control. And we can feel angry, frustrated, piteous or whatever for a period of time because we're just human. But the progression into stop blaming ourselves, stop blaming other people, and just take it on the chin when some things are very difficult and we don't have an answer, is probably the best policy. And share it and express it and get it out there. Get it out of ourselves onto paper or sharing it with another human being. And as Bill sees it today, this one, just doing them in linear order, so not necessarily about the 4th step in the fearless moral inventory. It says here, clearing a channel. During the day we can pause where situations must be met and decisions made, and renew the simple request, thy will, not mine, be done. And it's all about handing it over. This is all letting go. If at these points our emotional disturbance happens to be great, we will more surely keep our balance, provided we remember and repeat to ourselves a particular prayer or phrase that has appealed to us in our reading or meditation. Just saying it over and over will often enable us to clear a channel choked up with anger, fear, frustration or misunderstanding, and permit us to return to the surest help of all, our search for God's will or good conscience, not our own in the moment of stress. And when it says there, just saying it over and over will often enable us to clear a channel choked up with anger, fear, frustration or misunderstanding. If we deal with things on a daily basis and we get to tell the truth and be open, honest and willing to accept where things are, and sometimes accept that we've been made to feel angry, frustrated and not quite ourselves, and then be able to talk it through or share it and get some perspective, we're on a better wicket, if you like, for living through this day. And in the past, I know what drove me mad was fear of my imagination. I imagined the worst often, and then I felt, what am I going to do about that? And the answer was I was still as powerless, but what I used to do to treat myself was a large amount of alcohol, just to take the edge off my emotional, physical understanding or being, in order that I could obliterate or find oblivion. And then I guess what happened in the end, I woke up fearful again and unable to make sense or I guess make better choices. So as I went through my life, I probably did a lot of saying yes to things which were difficult and hard to do, involved lots of hard work, and I did it because I didn't know how to say no. And Gandhi said something actually. He said an emphatic no is better than a half-hearted yes. So when we are asked to do something or somebody volunteers us for an action or activity, an emphatic no, saying I feel I don't want to do that, and in fact emphatically I don't want to do that, it's okay, because we are allowed to have our choices simply in the day. But coming back to that phrase of something which can help us to make ourselves more balanced in the moment of now, I do use the Serenity Prayer, and it's to the God of your understanding or my understanding, or to good conscience, or to nature and providence. And it goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and simply learn and know. I've lost it. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I stumbled, but I'm back up on my feet now.